Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man, at your service. Well, the working day is done, and Kilt-Man has repaired himself to the local boozer. This time, we're in the croc, or as regular viewers will know, the crocodilio, or just the dilio. And yeah, it's been a busy old day, but you know, after a couple of whiskies, I'll go home and I'll get that mask out, which I promised to review last night. And in fact promised to review, I think 3 or 4 times in the last week or so. But hey, you know, all good things come to those who wait. Which leads me into, movie news. Have you all seen Rambo Last Blood? The second trailer has dropped, and obviously the final trailer. The film comes out September 20th. Ooh, yes, can't wait. Johnny Rambo is back on home turf. Remember the taglines to the movies? You know, once Rambo 3 came out, it was like, the first blood, it was, that this time was for his this time was for himself. Then Rambo First Blood Part 2, this time was for his country. Then Rambo 3, this time was for his friend. Because that was clearly Trautman had been held captive by the Soviets in Afghanistan. Now then you got Rambo, well, it was just called Rambo, wasn't it? Set in Burma. Now, what would the tagline for that be? This time it's for the glory of CGI gore, relentless mutilation and death and carnage. And because that film's fucking unbelievable when it came to carnage. And what he's saying is now, like this one, which is Rambo Last Blood. Brilliant title, by the way. He's going full circle. He's gone back home. At the end of the previous Rambo movie, he went back home again to the old farmstead. And he's pretty much the only guy in his family left, except for what appears to be his niece. Now, I know I have discussed this film and the plot several times before. Just troll back, you know, if you haven't seen them, you know, just troll back and see my previous comments about this. But now I'm getting stoked for it. I hate that phrase, stoked. Why is it when you put a camera on yourself and you think, I'm on YouTube, so I'm stoked. I'm just fucking stoked for this, man. No, I'm excited and I can't wait for it. Johnny Rambo is one of my all-time favourite heroes. You know, alongside Snake Plissken, alongside McCready, alongside Jack Burton, alongside Dirty Harry. You know, the man with no name. There's all these heroes. God, there's so many of them. And Gerard Butler's Mike Banning, because we've got that first. This week, in fact, tomorrow. From this recording, I'll be seeing Angel Has Fallen, the third in the Has Fallen trilogy of a Secret Service agent Mike Banning defending presidents. Because you got to think about it this way, you know, do you want Mike Banning on your security team? A, he's really good at his job. Yeah, he is, and he will save the day. But funny enough, on his watch, everything goes to rat shit, and terrorists are plenty come out the woodwork. And presidents are in jeopardy, beaten and threatened with all sorts, beheadings and torture. So, anyway, Rambo, Last Blood. It opens with a great little sort of montage with Trautman's voice, Colonel Samuel Trautman. You know, an expert with guns, with knives, spare hands. Richard Crenna. Come on. I really hope that they do have a sort of ghostly cameo of Richard Crenna in the film. I don't mean like some kind of, you know, Star Wars fucking hologram. You know, of him standing there with that ridiculous American Special Forces beret on. The Green Berets don't wear berets properly. That's another story. But anyway, you don't want that. But to have maybe Rambo sitting there wistfully in his ranch and down in New Mexico or where it is. It's right on the border anyway. And Texas, and like looking at the pictures, because you see in the trailers, the earlier ones, there's all pictures of his former, you know, his buddies in Vietnam, and all his, you know, his contacts, his friends, and you know, and you see like weapons and medals and stuff, so and mementos. So that would be a great moment to bring in, like maybe he just sits back and remembers Trautman saying words of wisdom to him about how to survive. You know, or maybe even a flashback to visiting Trautman's grave in Arlington. That's assuming that Trautman's dead. Richard Crenna is dead, but you'd have to assume the character has been killed off as well. Anyway, and of course then is his niece, who I always thought was meant to be the daughter of a close friend of his. So I don't know, as things changed, you know, this trailer released more information, because you see a shot of her going, Uncle Johnny, you know, coming out the car, Uncle Johnny, and then of course, badass Mexican banditos, you know, drug cartels, plop something in their drink. I don't know where they are, you know, downtown Tijuana, you know, and glug, 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 and then off, she's obviously whisked off. And you got these slimy grease balls that go like, you must really want this kid, you know, gringo. And he's like, I'm gonna tear you apart, you know, but fucking hell, you know. There's many people going like, oh, this is just Rambo Home Alone, because clearly he goes down to Mexico and he, well, whether he brings her back and then they launch an assault to get her back in revenge for all the ones he's killed down there, who knows? But the vast majority of that trailer features him on his ranch, and it's Home Alone style. He's put all sorts of booby traps out there in the outlying roads and landscape to blow up their cortege of vehicles when they arrive. He's got, I don't know what it is, it looks like the, you know, some kind of fucking anvil strapped to the engine of a fucking steam train, you know, and he manages to unleash that and that drop on people, splatto. He's putting pitchforks in people. You quite clearly see where he's using the new knife, of which there are at least 2 new knives, but the big one, you know, he takes a guy's leg out. There's definitely neck slicings, there's all sorts of shit. And then of course, the grand crescendo of the trailer is like, clearly it's playing on the fact that he says, I'm gonna tear you apart. And he walks with his barn towards someone who's hanging there at the end of it. And like, whoosh, knife comes out, and he just goes, you see him like this. Only not quite as good looking, or quite as young. And he's got shorter hair as well now. That's a big no-no. I didn't want him having short hair, but it kind of makes sense, I suppose. Yeah. Like that. And he just goes, and he drags the blade through somebody who's hanging there. Is that going to be the big bad, you know, the big boss at the end? I promised I was going to tear you apart. Now I'm going to do it. I don't think that'll be the case. I think that'll be a guy that he tortures to get information out of. I hope. I don't want things to be too obvious. Oh, too obvious. You know, Rambo is going to kick severe ass. Although it does look like at some point in this, he does get the shit kicked out of him as well. I mean, Rambo always gets brutalized by other people, which has got to give him, you know, that primal impetus for vengeance. And you definitely see him on some kind of rooftop. Maybe it's the upper floor of it, the rooftop of a club, you know. But he walks out, and you know, there's a massive gang there, and he's like, "Ugh!" And next thing, he's on the deck, and they're all kicking shit out of him. But we know that can't keep Rambo down, not for long. Come on now. Folks, I can't wait for this. In my eyes, Stallone can do no wrong. But he's done wrong twice. Oscar and Stop or My Mum Will Shoot. But then, isn't it obvious? To be honest, I wasn't a fan of it over the top either. But, you know, in Stallone I trust. The guy can write, the guy can direct. The guy has delivered an enormous amount of films that I've derived enormous pleasure from. And endless repeatability as well. To the point where, you know, I can quote them. I know the millisecond that someone hits the deck, someone's head gets blown apart. And obviously we all know, whenever you've got that slow-mo, there's a fucking big explosion behind him. I love in this trailer the way that when Richard Crenna's Colonel Troutman recites, an expert with guns, knives, with bare hands, it actually shows the Rambo from the Alien movies, like, with a bow, and then it'll cut from a black and white shot, like a mystical oldie-weldy memory, to the Rambo, the new Rambo, going, because he can still do that shit. He'll always do that shit. The rumours about Rambo dying at the end of this, well, this was always meant to be the case. He was meant to die in First Blood. In fact, in the earlier version, he did die, but and then he was meant to die, possibly at the end of Rambo, the one set in Burma. That didn't happen either. He went home, and that was a brilliant. They could have finished there, and that would have been one of the most excellent finales to a film series. Because even that turns full circle. He's wearing the M65 combat jacket, he's got his kit bag over his shoulder, his jeans are tucked into his boots, his combat boots, and he's walking home. That was a tremendous image. Really speaking, did any of us go, oh no, he's making another Rambo movie? No. Listen, the Proclaimers, Scottish, and once again, well, look, I'm on a really rickety stool right here. No, I'll try. I'm wearing the Spirit of Scotland. Let's see if we can see any of it. Yeah. But you knew he was wearing a fucking kilt. Like I'm ever not going to be wearing a kilt. And even when Rambo comes out and I start adopting the red bandana again, and pumping iron like there's no tomorrow. And I've just noticed in the light here, I'm looking a bit sort of withered and old. Shit. And yet, folks, I couldn't give two shits. Why? Because Stallone is old and withered and still looks like fucking meaty. So, I'm happy with that. Doesn't bother me one fucking iota. I am old, and I will go home. I will grow old disgracefully. Of course. So, September 20th. In the meantime, I will obviously be seeing Angel Has Fallen, and I'll be giving you a big smackdown review of that uber carnage. Oh, it looks awesome. And again, Scottish, Gerard Butler. But Rambo's the one. This year has seen some great some great action movies. He says, Endgame, I fell asleep in Endgame. But I really can't wait to watch it again to think, hang on a minute, yeah, you were wrong. I hope that's the case. But John Wick 3, which is out on Blue and home video in about 2 weeks' time, I think. And God, I can't wait for that. Oh, Jesus, that film fucking kicks severe ass. And I'll be honest, Rambo's a different kettle of fish. Rambo, hyperkinetic action-wise, will not be able to beat that. But then again, Rambo's a different style of action filmmaking. It's more old school. Okay, they might use CG for the blood effects, but the actual action isn't all ultra wire work and green screen and stuff like. So it's more grungy, more dirty. It's less slick. Now that's taking absolutely zero away from John Wick, because John Wick has some of the best fight moves I've ever seen, and the longest, most exhausting and brilliantly choreographed fights ever set on screen. But Rambo, there's something about John J. He is awesome. I love him. He's the ultimate underdog. Stallone always made a point of picking out the underdogs. Rocky's the obvious one. Rocky went to fame and fortune from rags and ruin to fame and fortune, and then lost it all again, and then gained dignity in later life with the Creed movies, and obviously Rocky Balboa. All great movies in their own right. But is it time to hang up pretty much your boxing gloves? I think so. But Rambo, there's always a bit more you can tell, because now you're getting a bit of a backstory to him as well, which you never had, apart from Marshall Murdoch saying German, Cherokee descent. I'm sure I got that wrong. It's not Cherokee, is it? German, Cheyenne, German. It's German and an Indian tribe. I cannot remember it. And he goes, hell of a background or something like that. And you learn about Troutman and I. Well, God didn't make Rambo. I made him. I recruited him. I trained him. I commanded him in Vietnam for 3 years. That's it, it makes him mine. So, for this, we're going to learn about family. We're going to learn about his backstory, where he genuinely came from, why he's such a master with the bow and arrow. Because in the books, you do learn how he learns how to do archery from his mother who taught him, and then a mystical, well, you know, a Native American champion hunter teaches him. Then he learns Buddhism as well in Vietnam. So it just, you know, there's a lot of aspects to this guy. And shit, man, I love it. So, here's to Johnny Rambo. I just said that and looked up and I saw a picture of Paul McCartney. You know, two polar extremes. Johnny Rambo, Paul McCartney. They'll never go on patrol together, will they? Let's be honest. But yeah, so folks, another little brief video. I guarantee I'll do that mask video tonight. I absolutely guarantee it. When I get back, which should be too far off. So in the meantime, you guys keep it easy, keep it safe, put lots of booby traps around your homestead. Make sure when those greasy spick bastards, you know, come attacking, you can take them all out. Definitely take them all out at a distance, which it seems that Rambo does bring down the odds quite a bit by blowing an entire convoy up. But it's just fucking awesome. So yeah, guys, keep it kilted, keep it Celtic. And in the meantime, I'm going to see you all. I'm going to go this way. So I might even swing around. As if I'm on a fucking M60. Laters.